My shift's over, but I'll watch for a while. Doors are propped up over here for you to look at. Front seat's over there, too. Have a ball. I'm not lifting a finger. Too much fun watching you.
That's a gay bar over on East Sahara. A trendy one. Or so I hear. Ah, GPS device. Should be able to download our cabbie's route directly from this. Not the right tool for this. Too bad it's only a partial print. Still, pardon the pun, we may get a match. Good match. Record of fire-related misdemeanors, most recently fire damage to her neighbor's fence. This places our friendly neighborhood fire goddess in the cab sometime before the fire. Good job, partner.
What's cooking?
Hey, Gris. Cooking up a storm in here. My partner just confirmed the match matches our current holding cell celebrity, Ed.
So there's evidence of Ed Danville both inside and outside of the cab. Coincidence?
Could be. I've seen stranger things happen. And we've got a few other leads.
So what exactly did Ed light up with that match?
We'll find out. First of all, we'll see if he smokes. And I don't even care what. Later, Chris. Print belongs to a Randall Watchie, a convicted pedophile. Hold on a minute. Records show Randall was put away a month back. I don't figure he was catching cabs from his cell block. GPS log has Bob driving through town before making his last stop of the night. Or ever. There are security cams all along this route. Good chance one may have picked up our perp. I'll ask Brass to go after any footage. Now this is interesting. Looks like our cabbie deposited a check for $500, written to him by Debra. We need to find out how somebody harassing a party winds up getting payment from that party.
That property's been in litigation since the Rat Pack was still in town. I'll see what I can do, but it may take some time. Direct evidence of Liz inside of the cab. Both ladies a possible source of turpentine, and the cabbie's history adds fuel to the fire. Not yet. Check back. He's on his way to interrogation now.
Who and where? Slow down, my brother. Take a step back before you go blaming that on me. I took a cab a couple of days ago, Saturday I think, but I didn't ask the guy his name. Maybe it's your guy, maybe it ain't.
We found a used match with your print on it in the cab.
So maybe it is the cabbie who got burned, but so what? I smoke 'em when I got 'em, but what's that mean in the great scheme? Now that is harsh. I do odd jobs for cash. I can afford the occasional ride. Anyway, those lesbos, pardon my French, they were climbing all over each other, and not in a good way. Liz, she was all pissed off at Deb for God knows what and raving on about needing a cleansing. Next thing, Liz is lighting some pagan ritual fire that got way the hell out of hand and damn near burned the neighbor's fence down. Anyway, I tried to help put the thing out, and for my trouble, got Liz climbing all over my ass, also not in a good way. She said, "Get out, get the hell out of here," all freaked out, and man, This cab was on the corner, and I just grabbed it and told the cabbie, stop at the nearest bar.
The Random Room, it's called.
Oh, round 4, maybe 5. Closer to 5, I think. When do you think? When Miss Pyromaniac 1999's fire got out of control. That broad is brutal, man. She is out there. I can spare a few for the cause. Hey, like I said, you don't have to have a 9-to-5 to be a good citizen. But if you find burn patches, remember, I was playing Citizens Fire Brigade for that hot Les. No, that's everything. So, when do I check out of that holding cell and get back to my windmill, my brother?
We'll get back to you. This puts Ed at the crime scene. Of course, he already told us he was there distributing flyers.
How did you guys find out about that? Liz, I suppose. Listen, you want to know something about me? Ask me. We went out a couple times back in high school. He seemed like a nice guy at first, before the real Bob started coming out. Freaking racist, flaming homophobe. Back then I hadn't come to terms with my, sexual orientation, but I knew Nazi talk when I heard it. I dumped Bob's bigoted butt like the day before prom. And let's just say he didn't take it well. But you know, that's ancient history, right? Only some people never quite drag themselves out of high school, huh? Anyway, maybe 2 weeks ago, he must have got hold of one of our flyers, 'cause he started calling me. First he pretended to be nice and asked me out, for old time's sake, you know?
And that's when you let him know about your sexual orientation.
Not at first. I just tried to let him down easy. Said I was in a long-term committed relationship, and then he snaps. His voice all different, sarcastic, nasty as hell. And he says, "What, with some dyke?" So he knew all along about Liz and me. Maybe Ed told him. Maybe Ed handed him a flyer. You'd have to ask Ed about that. And then the calls started. Obscene, abusive, nightmare abuse. And I had his calls blocked. And then he kept driving up and down past my house in his cab. It was awful, really disturbing. I was scared half to death. You bet your ass I did. Not that it did any good. I guess you people don't think it's harassment when somebody like me gets hassled.
Actually, we do. Of course, you don't need our help now. He won't be hassling you again, will he?
So that's what I get for being honest with you people? So that's what you do with a victim like me? You make me out a suspect. Well, maybe I'm not shedding any tears for Bob, but I had nothing to do with what happened to him. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but after I dumped him back in high school, he'd corner me in the hall and harp about the money he spent on prom. The limo, the rented tux, the corsage, how I owed him. So I thought, pay him off, pay him back. So I go out to that cab and say, how much to get you the hell out of my life? He says, not for $1 million, baby. I say, I'll give you $500 to just go away. And he says, done. And I did. And then he kept coming around anyway. You don't need one, far as I'm concerned. Go for it. Nothing to hide here.
Same kind of matchbook we found in the cab. Minus the soot. You're on the right wavelength, partner, but that's not the brand of shoe that left the crime scene print.
I only have the one pair of running shoes. Sorry to disappoint.
Well, that's nothing to call the media about. I just got tired of that character haunting our house and making a wreck out of Debra. So I climbed in that cab and asked for a ride over to the nearby strip mall. And on the way, I really tore him a new one. Said if he didn't leave us alone, I'd get a restraining order on his pasty white ass. And the a-hole flares up and his eyes pop out and his veins stick out and he's spewing all kinds of vile, foul crap at me. Turns out lesies like me are ruining this great country. All the while, he's still driving, but his eyes are on me in the rearview mirror, and now he's going about 50. So I wait for him to run out of steam, and then calmly tell him I will call the cops if he doesn't stop the car. I'm digging into my purse for my cell at the time. So he slams on the brakes and pulls over and throws open the door and tosses my butt right out onto the pavement, which must have been when and how I lost those matches, right? Anyway, he roars off and leaves me in a rough neighborhood, thank you very much. You know, I'm not sure. 6, maybe?
Or 9, or 10, maybe.
You can try to squeeze me into your timetable all you want, champ. But the inconvenient truth is, I didn't torch that bastard. I have an artistic penchant for fire imagery, but that doesn't make me a pyro or a killer. Man, can't get used to that high-class handle for freeborn. But, anyway, yes, sure. Ed was around all during the time Bob was making an ass of himself around us. And he also mentioned a cab driver he handed a flyer to lost it when he saw Deborah's picture. Later, Ed confirmed our stalker was the same guy. Oh. Well, it's not like I marked it on the calendar. About 2 weeks ago? No, he didn't like the guy's nonsense any better than we did. Loudmouth bully and bigot. Ed sort of laid back, but for him, he was pissed all right. Based on what? Let me see that thing. Well, hell with it. Just get it done so I can get back to it.
You're on the right track, partner, but that's not the brand of shoe that left the crime scene print. Not the right tool for this. Okay, we have 2 lesbians and 1 used condom. How exactly does that add up? This is important evidence. Be sure and check all sides for trace. Nice work. Swabbing this condom inside and out should give us 2 sets of DNA, thanks to body fluids from both partners.
I don't know, neighbor kids who sneaked in for a quickie? I mean, that structure is in our backyard. Could be anybody. But me or Debra, of course. Well, I wouldn't like you to. You can't do that without some kind of warrant, right?
That shouldn't be hard to get. You want to look good in this thing? I'd start cooperating.
What a charmer you are. Yes, yes. Go ahead. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Or so I hear.
Okay, we got lucky and located some security cam footage from a business along our roasted cabbie's route. Sarah will have it for you in the lab.
I've said all I'm going to say for now.
Hey guys, your hunch paid off. Here's a hunk of reality TV that you're gonna really get into.
There might be visual evidence on this tape. Play the video to watch the whole thing. Then, use the controls to look frame by frame. If you find a frame that reveals new evidence, you can click to enhance it. Hello! Check out that poncho design. We've seen that before. Remember? Nice going, partner. We've confirmed Liz engaged in heterosexual intercourse in the fire temple. Well, Ed was definitely one of the two to tango. Hey, Gris, check this out. Looks like Liz and Ed generated some heat in the old fire temple.
The fire goddess consummated with Mr. Free as the Wind?
An elemental attraction, so the evidence says. Wonder who initiated it.
Well, wouldn't you say that air stokes fire, Nick?
Yeah, I get it. Let's go, partner. Poncho matches the one seen on the security cam tape. And what do we have here? A singed area. Let's find out where this poncho came from. This damage could easily have resulted from a flash burn.
Well, that belongs to Debra. Or anyway, it used to. Haven't seen her wear it in ages. No idea what it was doing in there.
Why, yes, that's mine. I misplaced it some time ago. Where on earth did you find that? I didn't put it there. Liz might have borrowed it. She works later hours on the project than I do. I've known her to keep warm in that poncho, come to think of it.
Last time you remember seeing the poncho?
Really, I don't know. I don't wear it much anymore. In this climate, it was a little heavy. But just guessing, a month ago, maybe. Why not? I told you before, I had nothing to hide.
Nice to know.
Well, this may not have anything to do with anything, but late Tuesday night, when Liz and I got home, things got kind of moved around in here. Not like the furniture had been rearranged or anything, just kinda off-kilter. I thought maybe somebody'd broken in, so we gave the place a good looking over. Only thing we found missing was a few dollars. And I mean a few, 15. Liz would kill me if she heard me say, but I think it was our friendly free spirit helper, Ed.
These synthetic fibers were exposed to enough heat to melt the ends, but only for a very short exposure. A flash fire. We know the ladies play with fire, so this could have happened under normal circumstances. But our video evidence argues otherwise. How many people have this same poncho design?
Hey, what's up? He's on his way to interrogation now.
What happened? Didn't work out for you?
What makes you think I was with that lesbo?
Huh? A little condom told us.
So, since when is trying for a conversion get you a flag on the play? So, we did the nasty out in the artsy temple. So what? Don't tell me sex is illegal in Sin City now.
No, but setting cab drivers on fire can get you pulled over.
Maybe Liz solicited your help to protect Debra from a known gay basher.
Hey, Deborah's a major pain in the ass bone, you dig? So an old flame of hers gives her some grief. Why should I give a crap? So an old flame of hers goes up in smoke. That, too, I could give a damn about. And you can stir in Liz the Les. More trouble than she's worth. Or otherwise, why would I be sleeping in the windmill suite?
Because Debra caught you bumping uglies with her one and only? Just a guess.
They ripped while you were getting away. Or should I say, trying to.
Plus, we have your print on the turpentine can. Also on the match used to give the cabbie a light.
You got wax in your ears, dude? I already explained all this. I had a smoke in the cab earlier. I was around Turpentine all the time helping Liz with the temple. Get it? As for tearing my pants, thinking back, that must have happened when I went out to that foundry for a gander at those sculptures. Squeezed through the fence to get a better look. Must have happened then. I told you before, I was spreading flyers for the fire goddesses, trying to recruit the young and confused for their tribe.
You're spreading something right now, but let's move on.
Could be you're looking at the only innocent party in this fire fest. Talk to those crazy bitches who threw me out. One obsessed with purifying by fire, the other the object of your dead cabbie's infections. Last I saw him, Liz was begging to get back in Deborah's good graces, saying she'd do anything for Deb if she took her back. Anything. And then poof. One cabbie turned crispy critter.
Well, thanks for your sensitive insights. That's it for now.
Dude, that's all you get now.
So Liz plays with fire, huh? Bring her in and apply a little heat. Let her feel the burn. You have a record of fire-related misdemeanors, and are currently building something called a fire temple, plus your fingerprint and turpentine were found at the scene of a murder by immolation. Combustible stuff, Liz.
For you, this is all about science, right? Reading the evidence. But you need to look through my artist's eyes to understand that I couldn't have done this. To me, fire is cleansing, a ritual of rebirth, phoenix from ashes. Would I waste something so precious on a sack of human excrement like Bob?
Oh, I don't know. Sacks of human excrement rate high on my list of things needing cleansing. You knew Bob was a gay basher and was harassing Debra. You were taking steps to protect your lover.
You hailed Bob's cab for a ride. After a while, had him pull over, doused him with turpentine, and did a little cleansing on him.
No. I confronted him about his harassment, yes, but he's the one who got violent. He threw me out of his cab. Must have been drunk out of his mind. Guys, get serious. We're artists. Gentle people. We don't destroy. We create.
Yeah, right. With fire.
Didn't I say 6? No, wait. We drove for a while. Maybe closer to 6:30?
So when did things first heat up between you and Ed, Liz?
Well, that's just nonsense. You know my orientation.
DNA doesn't lie, Liz. We found a used condom, used by Ed and you. Fire temple gate swing both ways? I think you talked your new lover into helping you do more than just create art. Who knows? Maybe he gets a kick out of setting fires, too. Anyway, you brought the turpentine and the matches, and Ed doused Bob with the turpentine and lit the fire.
And you're supposed to be a scientist? You're adding 2 and 2 and getting 48. Okay, so Ed and I got hot and heavy one night. Too many stars and too much wine, and Debra caught us at it. And she didn't know that I was bi, and she just went off the deep end. I've been struggling to put the pieces back together ever since, which is why I kicked Mr. Freeborn out on his neo-hippie ass, okay? Ed's a user, a manipulative jerk who preaches freedom and then does everything he can to control you. I'm onto him now, but even when I wasn't, I wouldn't commit murder. My God, I'm an artist, not an arsonist. I've said all I'm going to say for now.
Bob's harassment gives Deborah a murder motive, and she owns that singed poncho that matches the video footage. All right, let's bring her in and hear her story. We'll start with the dead cabbie, who was your spurned high school prom date, a known gay basher who has lately made making your life miserable his hobby. Your singed poncho was found at the crime scene, likely worn by whoever gave Bob his Viking funeral, skipping the step of him being dead first.
How many times do I have to tell you? I haven't seen that poncho for a month, at least. I haven't the slightest idea how it got burned or wound up out in the fire temple, and Liz says the same. Well, we had another fight. Sort of the aftershock following the big quake. If you've ever been in a relationship that had a bad bump, well, you'll understand. Anyway, Liz stormed out and was gone so long that I got worried. Got in my car and drove around for hours looking for her. Geez, I don't know. I mean, I was so upset, I'm not sure. Close to 6, I think.
So you were out driving around?
Yeah, I went everywhere. All the places we usually go, you know? I got home maybe midnight, and Liz came in about 10 minutes later. Really, I don't know. I hardly knew where I was at that point, and I sure don't remember now. You already know our high school history. Add that to him being a bigot, full of hate, who came out of a hideous, dysfunctional family. What it comes down to? He couldn't handle me choosing a woman over him.
So finally, enough was enough. The phone call harassment, the cab constantly driving by, a stalker on wheels. You flagged him down, you got in the cab, you said you wanted to talk, only you were burning mad, enough to burn him out of your life. Permanently.
All that turpentine around your place? Plus you know your way around fires, thanks to Liz. Bob wouldn't cooperate, so you lit a fire under him. Literally.
I did not. He was a beast, a monster. But taking a life is not my way. It's not who I am. It's against everything I believe, foreign to every fiber of my being. What relationship? He was just this freak passing through who stopped long enough to help us with our art project and, you know, put up flyers and stuff.
So you didn't know things had gotten hot and heavy between them? Behind your back?
You make it sound like an affair. All it was a night where things got out of hand, is all. Liz and that freak got together one time. One time. He got her drunk and laid a smooth line on her and... Anyway, that happened Saturday night. And I saw them together. And Liz and me, we had this big knockdown drag-out. Not physical, just verbal, but a big fight, okay? And she promised me it was just this one time. It would never, ever happen again. She went and set this bonfire to show the fling was flung, and she would cleanse herself and our space of the creep. And, like I said, she was kind of drunk. Fire about got out of control. Anyway, Ed crawls out of his hole somewhere and tries to pitch in. With stopping the fire, Liz starts screaming at him and he books it. Never came back. She was crying and I was crying. Not that any of this is any of your business. Well, we got the fire out at least. Neighbor's fence a little worse for the wear. That's all I have to say for now.
I already gave it to Nick. Meet him out at the miniature golf course. Oh, and Ed's story about taking a cab to the bar on Saturday? Didn't check out. Good thinking, nailing him on the specifics during questioning. Cab company has no record of a fare there on that day.